Now, can I ask a question that's been burning my mind for a long time to Mark Kingwell?
Do whatever you want.
My view, you tell me if I'm right or wrong, Canadians are true blue Democrats. And that was behind the back, that was Pierre Trudeau. In the case of Glenn Gould, who said one day, okay, I'm breaking with performances. I'm going to do records only. Now, to go to a performance, you will have to pay $50 in those days. And to buy a record or a long play album or an LP, it would cost you $10. To me, it was a very democratic Canadian decision. Am I out and left to be?
Which was?
The concert
To give up.
concert withdrawal and go to the records.
That is a very positive construction on a... In other words, yes, you're not in left field. But it's a nice place to be sometimes. Famously, as you mentioned, in 1964, Gould, after a concert in Los Angeles, decided, without telling anyone at the time, not until later, that he would not perform in public again, and he never did. Although he continued to record, as I say, not only music, but radio documentaries and television in some cases. I think his motivations for this are interestingly against the grain in terms of democratic ideas. Because he was asserting an individual right, defending it on the basis of what he took to be the negative, what he called the gladiatorial elements of the concert situation. And also mixing in with that a combination of disdain for the concert audience, the people who came to see and be seen, and an alleged respect for the listening audience at home who were putting records on their hi-fis. And you can decide for yourselves whether that actually fits together.
In other words, I'm right, thank you.
Well, as I say, an interesting construction. Because the real reasons for his withdrawal have less to do with any of that than by that time he had become acutely uncomfortable in any kind of public situation.
And wasn't it a combination of agoraphobia and perfectionism?
Certainly the perfectionism is evident in the recordings, and I think, yes.
You can control it.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said what he disliked about the concert situation, there were many things he said, but one of them was that he disliked the non-take two-ness of the recording situation. And this actually, by the way, is the inspiration for the structure that my book has, because already in 1955, when he did his first record for Columbia, which was the first version of the Goldberg Variations, the famously difficult Bach piece that he would return to in 1981, the aria, which is the first thing you hear on that record, first of all, was recorded last, and was recorded 21 times before he found a version of the take that he was happy with. And the perfectionism only grows from that point. But I think, the thing to see from this is manifold, that Gould is taking himself out of public circulation in one sense, but putting himself absolutely back into public circulation in another sense. I think that's the way in which you are right. He really thought that recorded music was not only the future of music, but that it was the only honest kind of music. The concert situation, which we typically revere as more authentic than the recorded one, he thought was a debased form. And this is kind of surprising and quite radical at the time. Although now, when we can download any piece of music that's ever been recorded, it seems less radical maybe. But he made himself a kind of spectral public property, which sounds paradoxical, but I think he actually pioneered this postmodern form of availability.
Could you remind us of the etymology of the word record?
Oh yeah, we were talking about this over dinner. I had not known this when I started writing the book, but I'm having studied Latin and Greek, and so core to my discipline, I love etymology. And the English word record and record comes from the Latin for heart, to put on the heart, or learn by heart. And this idea that the way we learn by heart to have something with us always, that's what he was doing with recording. He was making it available always and to everyone.
To ever, for forever.
Yes.
That's what I mean about democracy. Thank you.
You're really good at this, aren't you? I keep saying no, and you keep saying you're proving my point.
He hangs around with politicians.
I just come from seminar rooms where we reason